In this tutorial, I'd like to cover some of the intricacies of using the portfolio constructor. If you're familiar with the slider constructor tutorial, you'll be aware of these already, so I'm only going to touch on them a little more briefly here. So first, there are more advanced options with the portfolio constructor that you can reveal by clicking Toggle Advanced Options. So, portfolios can be made out of posts in addition to portfolio items. It's less common, but you can do it if you want to. So, for example, when we click Post, you'll see that our posts will display over here. If I set it to -1, you'll see all of the posts. And we can refine the posts over here by author if we like. You can see if I click Emily Bronte, only Wuthering Heights shows up. You can hold Control and click an item to deselect it in these multi-select boxes, by the way. We can go just by blog post category, but it's important to note that if you've selected two post types, that these categories apply to everything, and it's impossible for one post type to be in both categories. So if you're using multiple post types, you can't use the categories. You'll also want to be aware of the manual sort order. So if we build a portfolio out of Stormtrooper Shenanigans, we can now reorder this. So let's say we want the to be or not to be item first. So once we do that, you'll see that the sort by parameter automatically changes to manual order, whereas before it was on date. And the manual order box is filled in here. Now, this becomes part of the query. And if you're familiar with WordPress queries, the WP query object, this will make a lot of sense. All the posts that are returned must be in this manual order list. So these are all post IDs. So even if we change something else now, like if we switch over to post, we're going to get no results because none of these items are posts. So no posts fit the criteria. So if you decide you no longer want your manual order and you want to use a different type of query, you have to come to sort by and switch it back to something other than manual order, like date. Of course, then you'll lose whatever sort order you had. Also, if you want to just remove one item, say we don't want this to be or not to be posted in here at all anymore, you can just click the X to delete it. This will also trigger the manual sort by and the manual order. So again, if you want to change things, you need to switch it back. It doesn't switch back automatically because otherwise if you click on something else by mistake, you lose your order. This way, if you go back to the parameters that were used to create the manual order in the first place, your order or deleted items remain intact, so you don't have to do that over again. The final thing I want to cover is that as long as your sort by is not set to manual, your portfolio will be dynamic. So if we add new portfolio items that fulfill these parameters in the future, they'll be added to the portfolio. So right now we can see our portfolio here. You can see it has these 6 items. But even if we don't change anything in the portfolio constructor, and we just add a new portfolio item, if we also add that item to the same category, Stormtrooper Shenanigans, and publish it, now it meets all the criteria for this portfolio. Therefore, it will be displayed in the portfolio. So this way you can easily add new items to your portfolio just by adding it to the same category and making sure it meets the same criteria. If you don't want to add new things automatically, you just need to switch it to manual. And then only these items will ever appear in your portfolio.